Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Sometimes the hardest things to do is to say farewell to friends. And that's how I view all of you as friends. It never mattered what side of the aisle you sat on, or for my fellow Democrats, if you supported me in the leadership race. Because in the end, we all supported a really good leader, Tim Grimal. I like to think what made my time here special is that I held no grudges and I valued the relationships. And in turn, I had an opportunity to build friendships with some amazing individuals. As I am thankful for you all, there are a few members that I would like to thank in particular. My man, Brandon Dillon. Brandon, you are the best colleague any representative could ask for. I want to take this opportunity, though, to publicly say I forgive you. I forgive you for the time that when we were knocking doors far, far, far and away from here. And if memory serves me correctly, there was no cell phone service. And you tried to leave this black man in a neighborhood that has never seen black people before. I will be sure to charge that to your head, not your heart. Thomas Stallworth, you are a real statesman. Your wise counsel was always appreciated, and I'm looking forward to growing our relationship outside of Lansing. Pete McGregor, you are absolutely my favorite Republican. Absolutely. I have high expectations for you in the Senate. Pam Ferris, you and the Lieutenant Governor have been big supporters from the very, very beginning. I will always appreciate you for that. Thank you. Jim Thomas, you are a class act. And it is my hope that every four leader operates with the integrity and the class you show day in and day out. Wood, I've always admired your voice, my brother. Always. I appreciate your open door policy. I would spend hours talking to Wood in his office and would walk away like, what the heck did we just talk about? Like, Wood, you are the master of saying a lot and saying nothing at all. I think that anybody that had a conversation with Wood can appreciate that. Big Chief of Macomb County, Harold Hall. I want to thank you for serving as the patriarch of our caucus. You love us not like a real dad, but rather like a stepfather, who showed you tough love because he couldn't stand his stepkids. That tough love made us all better. And Tim Grimal, it was an honor serving in leadership with such a great partner. The sky is the limit for you, and you should always know I got your back. And even though there are many more members that have positively impacted my time here in Lansing, I must take time to thank my staff. I have always operated under the notion that to be successful in Lansing, you must have good staff. I have been blessed from day one. I will always be grateful to State Representative-elect Jeremy Moss and Ted Jones for helping me win a tight primary and then making a transition to Lansing to help me build an operation that we all could be proud of. Aaron Keel, you are absolutely one of a kind. Every representative needs a staffer like you, Aaron. I truly hope you know how much I respect and appreciate all your efforts to make our office successful. Keisha, you have been wonderful and a supportive staffer and friend. I appreciate the many prayers and words of encouragement You have a bright future ahead of you, and like Jeremy Moss, I expect to see you here in this chamber one day. Chris Young, my man, the greatest thing that Representative Maureen Stapleton ever did for me was introduce me to you. You know, I would have not had the opportunity to serve in leadership if it were not for your efforts. I enjoyed every moment, every road trip, every conversation we had. It was all my honor, Chris, to serve in leadership with you. I also want to take a second to thank Amy Beard, Patty Pluta, Katie Carey, Coffee and Hawthorne, Mitch Albers, Joel DeMann, Leah Warrow, for always looking out for me. Your supportive efforts were never lost on me, and thank you. To my big brother, Tyrone Sanders, you have always had my back since I was 14 years old, and it's appreciated. I remember sitting in the hotel room after the results came in from your city council race. We were not victorious that night, but you said something to me that will stick with me forever. You said that with my talent, I can accomplish anything I set my mind to. You were half right, Ty. Most of all, I want to thank my family. If you have a family, you don't go on this journey alone. It's been a good ride for the Hobbs family. I like to think because of my position, my daughters are leaders too. They all run for office. They all serve in leadership in some capacity in their school organizations. And as for my wife, she is my rock. She reads me like a book. And when I need words of encouragement to build me up, she is there. When my ego needs to be taken down a bit, she's absolutely there to provide some words of humility for that and so much more. And D, I want to thank you for your unconditional love. When I reflect on my time in the House, I know I stood strong on the issues that mattered most to my community. Ever since I graduated from college, and yes, Bill Warts, I did go to college, my goal has been to change the world. I started off as a first grade teacher, which is why the greatest joy was serving on the education committee. I had the opportunity to be a voice for the voiceless, for the students, for the parents, and yes, for the teachers. That experience on the education committee will be one of the experiences I take away from here and will always treasure. I know that my journey is not over. I am still inspired very much to have a desire to serve. Even in this lame duck session, I continue to work hard to get a bill passed that requires security guards to be trained, which, God willing, will prevent death at the hands of untrained security guards. Like the incident that occurred in my district, when a security guard took the life of Mackenzie Cochran for having a bad day. When I look at the events that continue to happen in my community and our community, Black men dying at the hands of law enforcement, I know my work is not done. Your work is not done. When a man says 11 times he cannot breathe and he is choked to death, our system is broken. When a 12-year-old is shot and killed because someone called the police to report a Black man with a gun, only to find out it was a kid with an air pistol, our system is broken. And we all know about Ferguson. Our system is broken. For me, it's always been about doing the right thing. My roots are grounded in Alabama. My grandmother, the matriarch of my family, raised some strong kids in Montgomery, Alabama during some difficult times. My family's marched for civil rights, participated in boycotts, sit-ins, and protests. It is their expectation that I will continue to fight to ensure that we keep the rights they fought so hard for in the 40s, the 50s, and the 60s. So colleagues, I do not say farewell. I say I look forward to seeing you again. And to the residents of the 35th District, I end my speech thanking you for the opportunity to serve you. Until next time, God bless.